Hey fellow Apple Watch nerds, it's Brian. If this is your first time watching a video on the channel, welcome. If not, thanks for coming back. We're going to be talking about the top 5 reasons for the Apple Watch. Either to use it, to buy it, whatever. These are the top 5 most basic use cases that I just wanted to go through. I felt like, people haven't really talked about that for a while, so I thought it'd be a good refresher to see, what's the main use? Why should I buy an Apple Watch? Or why should I wear an Apple Watch daily and stuff like that? So, we're going to get started. Let's start with number 1. Number 1 is pretty obvious. It's to tell the time. I know. There's a million different watches. You can even just use your phone and check the time. I mean, why would you want to buy $300, $350, $400 for an Apple Watch to just check the time? Well, one, it makes it a lot easier than just checking it on your phone. You have to pull it out of your pocket. You just twist the wrist and check it. 2, it's more accurate than your phone. Not that most cases you'd even notice, but it is. They did mention that when they first announced it and all that stuff. I think it was 4 times more accurate, but I mean, it's milliseconds, like 50 milliseconds or something like that. I believe they said something about the atomic clock. I don't think it's exactly as the atomic clock, but I think it's just a step down from the atomic clock. I can't really remember that, but it is super accurate. The other cool thing is it's fun. I mean, if you think about it, all Apple Watches, at the very minimum, the second hand is going to be the exact same if no settings have been changed and stuff like that. So if you put 2 Apple Watches next to each other like I'm doing right here, you can actually see that the second hand goes the same. And even funner than that, if you switch and go to the Mickey face, you can see that his foot taps at the exact same on every Apple Watch. So that's just something that's kind of interesting. I've always found it fun and all that stuff. But, so yeah, number 1, obvious, tell the time. Number 2, less phone use. I don't know about you, but I am super addicted to my phone. I use it way too much. If you don't believe me, ask my family.
Does Daddy spend too much time on his phone?
Yes! This is a stupid question.
But with the Apple Watch, you can actually use your phone less. I still struggle with it at times. I know. Crazy. But it does still help. You get a notification, you can check it on your watch. You can get it right there. If it's a message, you can reply to it on your watch. You don't even have to pick your phone out. The problem is every time you pick your phone up to reply to a message or check a notification, there's this thing that you can really get lost into the device. It doesn't really happen on the watch because the watch is limited, which is a good thing. I mean, it's not always, having everything on your wrist would be a little crazy. But you don't get lost in it like you do, if you check a notification, then you go on Instagram, and the next thing you know, you're watching YouTube videos. Not that there's anything wrong with watching YouTube videos. Subscribe. Thank you. But you can get lost and you can waste time and all that stuff. I know I do it. I know you do it for the most part, most of you. I'm not judging. Like I said, I am part of the team, part of the group that has problems. But it does help. And the great thing is if you get the cellular model of the watch, then you can just leave your phone at home when you go out. And I do that on occasions. Anytime we go to a theme park, water park, date night with my wife, a lot of times I'll just leave my phone at home. And what I'll do is I'll grab my AirPods. These things are amazing as well. And I connect them to my watch. That way if I ever get a call or anything like that, I can answer it and not have everybody here. And I mean, it's great. I don't need my phone. And with not having my phone, I'm not getting lost and, ignoring the people around me like I do when I have my phone. So highly recommend trying it out. Like if you do have the watch, leave your phone at home. Even if you don't have the cellular model, if you're going somewhere that has Wi-Fi that you can connect to on the watch, because they did make that easier, try it. There's people out there. They want to hear what you have to say and they want you to listen to them. It's a good thing. Number 3, keeping track of the weather. Now, yes, I know, a lot of you were probably thinking, if you want to check the weather, just go outside. Very true. But sometimes I can't go outside, and sometimes I'm working in my office, which is downstairs, and I don't have a window. So what do I do in those cases? I check it on my watch. The other use case is, let's say I'm going out with some friends tonight or spending time with family and we're going to go out, or maybe even tomorrow. I can quickly check it. Honestly, I don't even check the weather on my phone anymore. I definitely don't listen to it on the news. I don't even have cable TV. But I can check it quickly on my watch. I can see what the weather's going to be like 5 hours from now, even on a complication, with a third-party app. It's called Carrot Weather. Link down below. Highly recommend it. Not a sponsor. Just love them. But yeah, so I can quickly check the weather, see what it's if it's going to rain, if it's going to be too hot to go outside. It's awesome. You should try it. Checking the weather on your watch, having all that stuff. I mean, it's great. Like I said, I don't even use it on my phone anymore. Number 4. So this one's a little different. I'm going to call this one the second brain in Siri. I have a horrible memory. I don't know about you guys, but I can't remember what I did last week, let alone, I can kind of remember what I did yesterday. But ask me tomorrow what I did a couple days ago, and I don't know. But with Siri, with the Apple Watch, with checking, I can check the reminders, I can check the calendar, and see what I got going on. It's awesome. I can add things to my grocery list, saying hey, you know who, add this to the grocery list. Hey, remind me when I get home to do this. Remind me when I leave home to do that. The power of it is amazing, and it works most of the time. That's the only downside of this. Siri's not perfect. The watch isn't perfect, but for the most part, I would say 90% of the time, it works great. There is 10%, and those 10% will drive you insane, but for the most part, it's very magical, and it helps me a ton. I also have a to-do list on here that I can mark off and check as I go. I have a complication on there to keep track, make sure I'm getting everything done that I need to get done each day. It's awesome. Highly recommend using Siri from your watch and all that stuff. They do have the ability not to say, hey, you know who. That works even less. So I try it every so often, and that just really gets, that's probably 40% of the time it works. So don't fully recommend that. Maybe it will get better with the next version and all that stuff, but at least you saying, hey, you know who, it works awesome 90% of the time. All right, the last one, number 5. Health. Obvious, that's what Apple markets nowadays, but when they first came out with it, they didn't really market it. They tried to market it as more rounded, but now a lot of it's health related. Anything new they add is all health, just because they've realized that's what the market wants. And the watch does health better than, if you ask me, at least my opinion. I'm biased. I'm an Apple fanboy. But if you ask me, and you're here, so you're asking me, the Apple Watch does health better than everybody else. I've tried Fitbit. I've tried the Jawbone Up. I've tried the Nike Fuel Band. I'm, dating myself because all these are pretty old devices, except Fitbit's still around, but the rest of them are dead, I believe. I broke them all. First off, the Apple Watch is way more durable than any of those. And second, the Apple Watch, keeping streaks, keeping all that stuff, I've done better than anything else. You can quickly check your activity, your exercise minutes, your stand, because stand is important. It helps to get up. This desk right here is a standing desk. I crank it up because it's not automatic. I wish I could have bought the automatic one, but it was more expensive. And I said, hey, physical activity, I'll crank it up. But anyway, I know, random. It's awesome. And you can even use Siri with some activity stuff. You can say, because, the step count isn't as easy to find sometimes. You got to go into activity and scroll down. But you can say, hey, you know who, how many steps do I have? And it will open it up and scroll down for you. And I wish it would just say, hey, you have this many steps. But there's also third-party apps out there that can connect and just show you your steps and stuff like that. But it's awesome. I mean, they pack so much health stuff. You know, you can do the echocardiogram straight from, you know, it's amazing. Like, all this amazing technology in such a little tiny device. I mean, it can detect if your heart rate gets too high when you're not moving around, or if your heart rate gets too low. And, you know, the heart stuff alone is awesome, but everything else it does is awesome too. It's amazing. And there's also some third-party apps that I'm going to deep dive into in future videos to track water intake, because drinking a lot of water is important. Sleep tracking, I got a few apps for that. And then also what the watch does better than any of the other ones is workout stuff. Like now they have it to where if you're working out, it will detect it and say, hey, it looks like you're working out, and you can start it, and it starts from when you started working out, or at least when it detected that you started. And then it'll also remind you, because I forget all the time, to stop a workout. It will say, hey, it looks like you're done, are you? And if you're not, you can say, hey, go away, or hey, pause, or hey, yeah, I'm done. And it's great. I love it. They have so many options, you know, you can go through, and I'm sure more will even come in the next version. So highly recommend it. And there's also some good third-party workout track apps. If you have any that you know of that you'd like to hear me talk about, let me know. But the watch is a fantastic workout tracking device. But there you go. That's my top 5 daily use cases for the Apple Watch. What you're going to use the Apple Watch on a daily basis for. I use every single one of these every single day. I love it, and it's only getting better with every year that surpasses with the software and with the... Can't wait to see what they have next in store. If you like this video, feel free to hit that thumbs up down below. Subscribe. It means a lot to me. Every subscriber I get super excited. You know, this is just the beginning. I'm going to do some deep dives in the very near future of some apps. And that's it for the day. It's been fun. It's been real fun. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.